guys, and welcome to this video. So today I'm gonna show you my full contour and highlighting routine. So if you wanna see how I do this, then just keep on watching. In this video I am just gonna show you my contouring and highlighting routine, but I do think that it is a major step to have a good base on your face before you go in with the product that you're going to contour and highlight with. So I already primed my face. I used the Milani Prime and Correct, I think it's called. Now I'm just gonna go in with some foundation, using a light layer of this just to even out the skin a bit before going in with the products. The products I am gonna use are really full coverage, so if you don't have a lot of redness or acne scarring like me, then you can probably just skip foundation, but make sure that you have a good base, like a great primer. I'm using the contour kit from Contour Cosmetics, and they are really full coverage. So I'm just gonna apply a thin layer of this foundation. It is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I'm in the shade Sand. I'm just gonna take a little pump of that. I'm just gonna blend that in with my beauty blender. I'm avoiding dragging it up to this area because I am gonna conceal there. So to avoid any cakiness or building up too much product, I'm just using a light layer. So the contour routine I'm gonna show you today is the contour routine I use when I really want my contour to stand out and be a bit extra, and also when I want it to last all day or all night. And that's why it's gonna include baking and using both cream and powder products. So first I'm gonna take this cream contour kit, and I'm just gonna take this light shade here, and this shade I'm gonna use to conceal and highlight with. I'm just applying this all the areas where the light would naturally hit my face and where I want to highlight. So underneath the eye area in a triangular motion, and just a bit here. Now you always want to highlight and contour after your own face shape, so I'm only applying very little product here since my forehead is really small. And then I'm just gonna apply some down the bridge of my nose and at the tip of my nose and above the upper lip here, on the chin, and some underneath my cheekbone right here. So this is basically all the places that you would want to put the highlighter. If you're only using powder products, it's exactly the same places that the highlighter and the contour goes, but of course it's just another form of product. So now I'm just blending in with my beauty blender everywhere. Now that I have highlighted my face, I'm just gonna go in with this dark shade. I'm gonna mix this one and this one. This one is too red to contour, all depending on your skin tone, of course. For me this is a bit too light, but it is a really cool tone, and that's why it's nice for contouring, and that's why I'm gonna mix these two shades here. And to apply that contour, I'm just gonna use this brush from Contour Cosmetics. It is the Contour 14 brush. So I am just dipping that in both shades, and then I'm just applying this all the places where I want to contour. What I do is I start from the top of my ear, where the ear starts here, and I just follow that down here. Like that. I put pretty much product there, but okay, we'll work with it. Now, because I have a pretty small forehead, I'm only gonna contour right here in the sides of the forehead. But if you have a larger forehead and you want to contour it a bit more, of course, contour here at the top of it as well. Now I'm just applying some right here following the jawline and applying some underneath the lower lip to make it appear a bit fuller. And then I'm just applying some on the sides of the nose. And again, if you do this too wide, your nose will look wide. So just make sure that you're doing it right here. And a good rule is to follow your where the brow starts. All depending on where you draw your brow, of course, but following the brow here and just going downwards. I'm applying some here down the tip and on the sides here to cut some of this part off. Again, it all depends on how your nose is, how the shape is, and which parts of it you want to contour. So this is just how I do it for my shape. So now I'm just gonna blend it in. I am just gonna use this same brush to blend that in. You do kind of look like you're going into some sort of plastic surgery, but I guess that this is the makeup version of plastic surgery for your face. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna blend in with my beauty blender because that is actually the best way for me to blend in cream products. So I am just gonna bounce this all over the contour. So when I'm using cream products, I like to apply powder products as well, just to set them so they don't slide all over your face. But you can totally just wear powder products alone. I just find that if you use cream products underneath, that will really intensify it and also make it last even longer. So it's all depending on what your preferences are and where you're going and how long it's gonna last and all that. So yeah, this is the makeup routine I do when I'm going out and I want my makeup to be extra glam and stay on all night. Here I am actually dragging it a bit up the hairline just so it doesn't look too fake that you're completely wide up here. And now when I'm blending the nose, I'm just gonna do this lightly in these rolling motion, pressing it in lightly. Because I don't want it to mess up here. So I'm just lightly pressing that in. And as you can see, some of the dark color got here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna clean that up with some bit more of that lighter concealing shade. Sometimes I actually like applying the dark product before, because then I can clean it up with a lighter shade. Now to clean up the places where I got a bit out of line or messed up a bit, I'm just gonna take the same light shade and just apply a bit more product there. I'm just gonna clean up a bit underneath here as well. Just to get that really sharp contour. Okay, so now when I'm satisfied with the product amount and where everything has gone and blended everything, I am gonna just bounce the big end of the beauty blender all over the place so that everything is extra blended and looking as natural as possible. So that was all I have for the Contour 2 kit from Contour Cosmetics. Now I am just gonna go in with the powder products to set everything. To set all the places that I have highlighted, I'm just gonna be using a translucent powder. I'm using the No Color powder from RCMA. And I am just gonna bake a bit with that, so I'm just gonna apply a lot of product right here. I also want to bake right here in my smile lines because they always tend to show up really quick and crease, so that's just what I'm gonna do. Okie dokie. And then I'm just gonna take that excess powder here and set my forehead. I'm not gonna bake my forehead, I'm just gonna set it with the powder. And then while I bake these parts of my face, I am just gonna contour again with the powder contour. The important thing about contouring is not using a bronzer. And the difference between a bronzer and a contour is really that a bronzer is made to warm up the skin and bronze it, and the contour is where you want to shadow your face. So you really want to use a cooler, ashier toned contour, and that's why I'm using this shade. It is the Anastasia contour kit in ash brown. So as you can tell, it is a really cool shade, and this is just perfect for contouring. So if you really want that sharp contour, this is the brush you need. It is the e.l.f. contouring brush. It is perfect for the hollows of your cheekbones. This is super pigmented, so just take that excess powder off. And then I'm just gonna place this on top of the cream product. So I'm just applying this all the places where I put that cream contour. Okay, so for the nose contour, I'm just gonna be using another brush. I'm using a small brush. This is just a blending brush for Morphe. It is the E17. It looks like this. And I'm just taking that same powder contour from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm just lightly applying this over that cream contour. Because I really don't want to add too much product. So I'm just, yeah, doing this really gently. And down the sides here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna dust away that excess powder. I'm just using this random brush with no product on, and I'm just dusting that off. Okay, so now I think that the nose contour is a bit too harsh. I want to tone it down just a bit, so I'm just gonna take that same translucent powder and I'm gonna apply a bit of that powder on top. That will just cover it up just a bit. So I'm just taking that on my beauty blender and I'm just lightly applying that on top. Everywhere. This is a translucent powder, but it will tone it down a bit. So yeah, now the nose is a bit more for my liking. Now I'm actually done with the contouring and highlighting. I am gonna skip blush today and instead I'm gonna use a bronzer. So the bronzer I'm just gonna apply where I would normally apply the blush. I'm taking this palette from e.l.f. It is the bronzer palette. And I am gonna be taking this shade here and I'm tapping off that excess because I don't want a lot of product on my face. I'm applying this on the cheeks. And then I'm just gonna highlight and give it a bit of glow. I'm gonna be highlighting with the Carli Bybel palette because I think it has some pretty intense highlighters in there. I'm gonna be using this highlighter here, taking that on this fan brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just highlighting in this C shape here. If you can tell, right here I'm highlighting because this is where the light naturally hits my face. Okay, high texture. Yeah. So this highlighter is highlighting my texture, but you know what? I'm just gonna go with that glow. I'm just gonna highlight on top of my lip here on the Cupid's bow. And I'm also gonna be highlighting down the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose. Yeah, that's a pretty intense highlighter. Okay. Yep. I'm just gonna complete the look now, so I'm just gonna highlight here underneath my brow bow. Okay, so before applying mascara to my lower lash line and before applying lipstick, I'm just gonna spray my face. I'm using the Milani Make It Dewy spray. This is just great to give your face some extra glow. If you have dry skin, it is awesome. I'm just gonna spray and hope not to mess up my mascara. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but it just makes the look complete, this spray. It just connects the powder to the skin and it's not so powdery, the finish anymore, and it's more dewy and glowy, and I love the spray. The spray, you know, the mist is just perfect. It doesn't come out in big portions of splash. So yeah, it's just great. Okay guys, so this completes this look. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is definitely for me full glam on the contour and highlighting. It is actually pretty rare that I go so full on. Definitely not an everyday look, but I really like it when I'm going out and it's gonna be dark. I like it to be a bit more intense, and this way I'm sure that it's gonna hold up all night. So this is how I do it when it's that extra glam. If you would like to see my more natural contour routine, then let me know in the comments. For my natural contour routine, I do use this palette as well, but I use foundation on top, and in that way it looks more natural. So if that is something that you would like to see, then just please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you could use this in some way. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, bye. Is the contour routine. Where you apply the contour is ultimately gonna show up on your face. I mean, following the bra. This is normally the makeup. This is whereas it's harder to clean up the dark shade. I'm using the no color powder from RCMA. I'm just lightly applying this. I'm just lightly applying. Whoa. I am just okay.